If you had been in Jerusalem this past Wednesday evening as the sun set, you would have been celebrating the birth of a brand new year. The year 5775 according to the Jewish calendar. But not just a brand new year, a Shmita or Shmita year, which is the 7th year of a 7-year cycle. And God had specific things to say to the Jewish people about this, commands that he gave to Moses. We read in Leviticus in chapter 25 and verse 1. And the Lord spoke to Moses on Mount Sinai, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and say to them, when you come into the land which I give you, then the land shall keep a Sabbath to the Lord." See, God built a Sabbath into the whole creation, but here he does it with the land and Israel. 6 years you shall sow your field, and 6 years you shall prune your vineyard and gather its fruit. But in the 7th year there shall be a Sabbath of solemn rest for the land, a Sabbath to the Lord. You shall neither sow your field nor prune your vineyard. What grows of its own accord of your harvest you shall not reap, nor gather the grapes of your intended vine, for it is a year of rest for the land. Now, surprisingly, or perhaps not surprisingly, some Orthodox Jews in Israel still practice the 7th year. The Shemitah really means the release. So it's to allow the land to rest, but it's also a release from debts, and there are other things that are associated with it. There are actually studies done that show that farmers who practice this get abundant crops as a result. In other words, as they keep God's commandment and they allow the land to rest for the 7th year, God blesses them. Now, of course, that takes a step of faith to practice this, but God ordained it in Scripture, and he holds it true today for the Jewish people. And it is not a bad thing for us to have rest. In fact, it's good for us to rest. So if it's good for us to rest one day in the week, why is it not good for the land to rest 1 year out of 7? God says it's a good thing. So therefore, many Jews practice what God says.